Hello everyone, we're back with a kind of a different video. It's not resin for once. Let me see. To start with what I'm doing, why is she just spraying ancient shaving cream? And it really is ancient. I'm pretty sure that sat in the supply closet for years. I wonder if it's gonna work. But why is she using shaving cream at random to spritz over some tin foil? Well, I did promise to show y'all how to marble paper, and believe it or not, this is how I marbled a lot of that paper. Now again, the shaving cream is old, so how well it's going to work is anyone's best guess. Worst case scenario, this fails and I'm going to have to just go buy some new one, but waste not, want not. Let's see if I can get enough of this to spread out, foam up. Figure shaving cream is shaving cream no matter how old it is. I ought to be able to use it. Though I wish more of it would stay in the pan and not want to stick to my gloves. This is alcohol ink, by the way, that I'm just spritzing into here. I think I did alcohol inks last time, and I want to see if that's going to work the way it did before. This is more of a kind of a splash than a marble, but this is just going to be a test piece to see if it will even behave the way that I hope it behaves. Might actually be better off working without my gloves and getting shaving cream on everything. So we've got a blue and orange. Now I just cut up some random swatches of paper from my drawing notebook. I think this was just a regular Strathmore drawing notebook. I'm just going to let that sit there on top of the shaving cream. I don't know how well this will work. It's literally been years since I've done this, but the way I remember, I did it like this. I used shaving cream as the base, spritzed in some color, let the top piece sit there, but you're also going to need something to scrape it off with when you lift the paper off, which this is just I'm not actually sure what this thing is called. I'll link one in the description. It comes with a lot of resin stuff, and it's good for scraping wallpaper too, actually. Okay, that came out looking like something. Let me try again. I remember the last ones I did coming out a lot better than that, so I think it could be that the shaving cream is old, but I also have a toothpick here. And I want to try to move the color around a little bit. So let's try this. Try moving it around, giving it a more swirled look with our Q-tip, and we'll see if this works better. I might have also not pressed very hard on the first one. I think on some of the first ones I ever did, I pressed so hard that I got shaving cream on the back of them too, but they came out good enough. I'm just tapping on there. Pull it off. Move that to the side. And of course it looks like a hot mess when you first pull it off, but when you, that's the effect I wanted. That's more the effect we're going for. Just clean that off. But yeah, using the toothpick seemed to have helped change the texture, and that's more of the texture I was going for. That actually looks really cool. I could make some cool stationery or jewelry with that. Now, I'd also seen people use acrylic with this. I never did use acrylic, so I'm a little bit untested in these waters. It doesn't spread quite as easily as the alcohol ink, and I think that a lot of that is just that it's thicker. It's thicker, but maybe it'll give us a better pigment. Let's see. And I'm going to mix that around. I'm going to add some blue and pink. I don't think I have too much blue and pink marbled paper, so this will be a new color scheme for me. And I'll add some of that dark shiny blue just to give us some extra contrast. Just to have another blue, I'm going to kind of try wetting the paper a little bit and see if that makes any difference with the marbling process. It doesn't seem to seep through the back of the paper like the alcohol ink did, and I don't know yet if that's good or bad. I'm kind of trying to make sure that I really press it into the surface of the shaving cream without just sinking it. Don't worry about getting it wet. I wet the back of it a little bit to see if it would help it like absorb color a little bit more. Your paper's going to get wet no matter what you do. You have it on wet shaving cream already, and you can always blow dry these things off if you want them to dry faster. That looks like icing a cake, doesn't it? It does look like cake icing. Do not eat that. It goes without saying, do not eat that, please. But, okay, so that's different. I don't know why the edge there didn't get colored. That's a little bit confusing. Maybe there was more white pigment, white shaving cream in that corner, but we can still use it. And it looks like it is slightly more pastel-y than the alcohol inks were. But that'll still potentially make an interesting piece of resin jewelry. I don't think I'm going to use it for stationery. Yeah, also use a towel that you don't care about very much, because this gets messy. Either use a towel or lay down some other kind of thing to protect your cabinet. I'm just using this ratty old towel because I don't really... Okay, I had to pause to get that. But yeah, use a towel you don't care about, as I was saying, because there's no guarantee that these stains are going to come out of this when I wash it. So let's see if we can't kind of double dip here. I've made the paper a little bit damp to see if it wouldn't pick up more pigment. I wonder if that will still come out, because sometimes the second layer, if you use the bottom layer, yeah, that didn't work. Well, case in point, now we know. We're just going to scrape that off. This paper is still usable, even though it didn't work. Though it's a little bit soggy. But that's okay. I'm going to lay that to the side for now. And we can keep going with this. I've done this before, even though there's still a little bit of pigment on the top. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop some of this kind of magenta and darker blue. It doesn't matter if it gets some of the washed out pink in the background. In fact, I kind of hope it does, because I feel like it will make for a more interesting design. And I'm going to go ahead and do my toothpick thing. Get all that stuff swirled around and marbled, because it doesn't marble itself. But you can get some other interesting designs out of just dropping stuff, but you got to actually mix it around if you want it to marble. And I might put a little bit more, because I want a little bit more of that magenta, and I feel like that blue is kind of overpowering it a bit. Loop, loop, loop-de-loop. There we go. There we go. And just rinse that off. You can throw your toothpicks in the sink, absolutely. Now let me just paint this down. Just Kind of make sure it settles really well on the surface. And I think those colors are fresh enough that this is going to come out a lot more vivid. But I am going to let it sit there for just a second. Now let's peel it off. It always looks like icing on a cake to me. I might have also said this in a video. If any kiddos stumbled across this by chance, please don't eat this. It's probably not poisonous, but it's probably also not very good for you. Don't eat this. And that came out beautiful. It really did pick up that layer of magenta. I'm glad that I put down that second layer. Very nice, very nice. And the great thing about this stuff is that you can use it for stationery, absolutely. And it stays scented. It still smells slightly like whatever shaving cream you use. So, fun little factoid there. Pick out your favorite scent. And you'll not only have stationery, but perfumed stationery. Now, I think that I really liked the color scheme that I had going with that last one, so I'm not going to fix what isn't broken. It still looks like the pigments on top are strong. That's really one of the main things about this, is just making sure that you have a fresh enough layer at the top, or it'll come out more pastel-y, or it might not come out at all. Though it's genuinely hard to mess these up. Now, I kind of scraped some of the old one out. I'm going to go ahead and refresh it. It's generally better, I discovered sometime after making this video, to use the foaming one than the gel one. But if you stir the gel one around enough, and you can even use your hand like so, to just mix it up, you can cause it to foam. And that's kind of what we want. We don't want it to stay in its gel consistency. We want it to get nice and foamy and basically look like icing on a cake before we prepare to use it. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of this. I think it's a darker blue. We just grabbed either a dark blue or a dark purple, but either way, it works for the purposes we need. And I'm going to add a little bit of bronzy gold. I'm not sure if it's a bronze or a gold, but we'll find out. So we've got a bronze, a purple, a pink, not a pink, a blue. I swear I'm not colorblind. But I guess I was thinking of pink. Might do some pink in the future if I can find some alcohol inks that it shows up well enough on. And again, we take our just toothpick, make our marbled design, place our paper. I'm using the one that was kind of didn't come out before and stayed kind of blank. You can always use paper again, you can just double dip. And let's pull it back. It looks like we didn't get the edge, but that's all right. And there we go. That bronze turned out more brown, but it's still a nice design. And just clean it up a little bit more before we put it to the side. I'm going to go ahead and kind of mix over the old batch that we had. I felt like I kind of needed to refresh my foam again. Get it all nice and fluffy and white again. And let's see, what colors? Let's do this. And do more purple. I feel like I'm not done with purple yet. It's one of my favorite colors to use. Some more blue. I kind of just want to give a blue and purple design another shot, but I might add a little bit of this orange this time. Hope that it comes out looking more orange than red. And see what we can pull out of this. Loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop-de-loop. I think that's going to look really good. I like what I see so far. So let's go ahead and grab our paper. Press it in there. By the way, there's more marbling techniques than just this, and possibly in the future in a ventilated area, I may get into those types of marbling techniques, but this is just one of the easiest and one of the simplest. And I was telling someone, an acquaintance of mine that has children over the passing Memorial Day weekend, I was telling them this is definitely one of these arts and crafty things where you can do it with children because you don't have to worry about using really harsh chemicals. And it's easy. And though it does make a mess, it's relatively easy to clean. There we go. Beautiful. And because we still have a lot of pigment, I'm just going to double dip. Just want to kind of move that back and forth a little bit, make sure that it really gets in there. And here we go. Time to peel it off. Oh, I really like the way that one came out. That one came out even better than the last one. Looks really festive. Yes, I really like this one. Very nice. Now this is a little bit messy and not altogether as clean as it can be, but we're going to keep going. I think we can still use it. I'm just going to put some fresh pigment on the top. And whatever can be left over or be picked up from the background is just going to add to the creative element. Might even have a happy accident with it, as it's sometimes called. Let's try this orange. Rinse off the toothpick. And add some blue. And I'm going to swirl that around a little bit as well. I think that'll work. We can pull something interesting out of that. And down goes the paper. Don't worry about getting your paper wet. Your paper's already wet. It's in shaving cream. It's all going to dry back up, and if you need it faster for whatever reason, that's what blow dryers are for. Let's put that to the side, and let's see. Whoa, that one came out even better than expected. That one's another good one. So yeah, it's really, really easy to lose track of time because once you start, it's hard to stop. You just want to make a billion of these, and it's so easy to do. I decided to make a fresh pan because the last one was getting a little bit crazy, was a little bit too polluted. And I noticed it did not go completely within the angle of my camera, and I apologize for that. But as you can see here, I am squirting this kind of deep teal or deep, I don't know if it was teal or green. Well, we'll find out in a second. Kind of just squirting that in no pattern in particular. And let's see, I might add a little bit of this here. I'm going for the darker colors now. I really think I used two different colors that were kind of on the green spectrum of things. Green and blue. Now let's go ahead and marble that up. Okay. Looks like it's going to make for some vibrant colors if nothing else. And down goes the paper. Also, if you're not someone who's fond of strong scents, I actually like the way this smells. The whole room smells like shaving cream now. So either go unscented or pick a scent you like. Let's peel this away. Ooh, that looks like that will be interesting. And it is. Voila. I really like that one. It's almost got a sky cloud pattern to it. That one came out very pretty. Just peel that away from the towel. Nice. And I still have a lot of pigment left over, so let's see if I can't pull one more out of this. May as well use up that last piece of paper that I have. And peel it back. Looks like we got a good amount of pigment onto there. And let's see how this comes out. Not bad. It came out looking a little bit more tie-dyed than marbled, but not bad. I can work with this. That definitely does not bother me. I'll put that to the side to dry off with its companions. And if you've stuck around this long, go ahead and like and subscribe, help my small channel grow. I will appreciate it. This is some of my older marbled paper that I might have used a slightly different technique on. So I may be making more of these in the future and basically updating techniques and tricks. So stay tuned for that. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next art story. Bye for now.